Hey guys, long time no see. So it's been a while. Um, you might be able to tell already, I'm sick. I've been really sick for like a couple days, which sucked because I couldn't even go running. Um, and running is important to me because it makes me feel good. But it's finally time for the story time video that I promised. Like I always say, my teeth are not actually super yellow. This light is just yellow. For this story time video, it's going to be a little different, which is weird to say because I've only done one of these story time videos. But this one, I'm going to be reading you an article that I had to respond to for school, and just responding to it as I read it to you guys. It's called "Dear Service Provider, I'm Gay." It's written by Amy Reyna. That's Rain as in Nancy A. If you want to look it up or read a bit more about the author or whatever you want to do. A couple things that I should say before I get into this, which I'm not doing this for like attention or sympathy or anything like this. Okay, so I'm just saying this. You'll understand why I'm letting you guys know this, but it might not make sense right now. One, before we get into this, I am bisexual, so this is about the LGBTQ community. And so you can know that technically speaking, I am part of the LGBTQ community because I'm bisexual, and that's the B. That's the B. Also, it does briefly talk about sexual assault in this, and you guys are thinking now that this is gonna be like really depressing. Don't worry yet. I'll make it lighthearted. That's what comedians do. They make serious stuff lighthearted. But you should know that I have also been sexually assaulted before in my life. So that's just a couple things to get into it. I think it's kind of like a scenario of gay people saying that's gay, or something along that lines, where usually it's generally more accepted if somebody from that group is making fun of that group. So I am from this group, and that's why I'm making fun of this group, okay? Okay, so I'm not a bigot or anything. Let's get into it, shall we? It's not very long. It's like a page and a half. So, I sat on my table at my doctor's office, feeling like a responsible adult in a cotton Johnny, tied delicately in the back. I had gone to this small family practice in Portland for nearly 8 years and was on a first-name basis with the nurses. I felt comfortable discussing anything at this office. I was there for my annual physical and routine pap test. I'd been working out, eating healthy, and even managed to floss on a regular basis. Dude, who flosses? Come on, you overachiever. I was on top of my game this year. I'm also very fortunate to be in good health and have insurance. It was going to be a good day. After a quick copay, I was headed back to the office. My usual nurse practitioner was out, and I was assigned a new doctor for the visit that day. Oh no, not a new doctor, dude. Shit's gonna go awry. Every gay person must eventually come out to their healthcare provider. While I can go to my car mechanic without discussing my private life, the healthcare system is a different story. It became clear to me, as I was lying on the table, feet in the air, that the doctor hadn't read my chart. She ignorantly assumed I was straight. Dear God, how dare she? How fucking dare she assume you were straight? This is a repeating theme in this, and it's just one that I really don't understand, because as somebody who is bisexual, people assume, actually a lot of people assume I'm gay, which is understandable. I'm not the most masculine guy in the world. I know that. So a lot of people assume that I'm just like flat out gay, and some people, a lot of people also assume that I'm just, flat out straight. Does that offend me though? Not really. Do I get mad at people for being ignorant or bigots or something like that because they're assuming that I'm straight? No. Why? Because statistically speaking, people are more likely to be straight than they are to be gay or bisexual or anything like that. So it makes sense why people assume that you're straight. You know what I mean? And anybody who's gay shouldn't be, like, ashamed of it or anything. Like, if you are expecting people to, not assume that you're straight, then you shouldn't be ashamed of taking the 5 seconds to say, actually, I'm gay, or, whatever. Most of the time, when people assume I'm gay, or people assume I'm straight, I don't even correct them because it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I don't really care. What difference is it going to make? Everybody at my work, at my last job, almost everybody thought I was gay, just flat out gay. Did I correct any of them? No, because I didn't really care. I was like, alright, I'm not interested in dating any of the people here, so I don't know why they should have to think that I'm straight. Note, though, all of the experiences I'll be talking about come from Oregon, which is generally considered a very accepting state, especially since we have Portland, which is, just like all about accepting gays and all of that. So I've never really had an issue with, like, being prejudiced against or anything like that, but this is just the beginning, though. This is just the beginning. She ignorantly assumed I was straight. Suddenly, my mind went spinning. It had been so long since I came out. How do I break the news to her? Why does she keep assuming? Was it something I said? Maybe she's making a political statement? Why does she keep saying boyfriend and husband to me? Dude, seriously, like, over-dramatization to the nth degree here. She's freaking out over something that is gonna take her 5 seconds to be like, actually, I'm gay. Boom, dude. Look how fast that was. Like, who cares, dude? Who cares? I waited until I had my pants on to tell her kindly that she had made an assumption. She blushed quickly and became defensive. Well, why didn't you tell me? That's important to know. Exactly! Why didn't you tell her? That's important to know. I was silenced immediately. I was unaware that it was my responsibility to correct her. Whose responsibility would it be, dude? Really? And for some reason she said that the doctor failed to look at the chart. I've never once had to put my sexual preference on a chart before for going to the doctor. Never once. It's came up in doctor's visits, they'll ask, hey, are you sexually active? I'll be like, yeah. And then they'll be like, with a girl? And I'll be like, yeah, or, whatever. But, like, I don't think that's on my chart. I don't know. I've never been asked to fill it out. When you're filling out paperwork in the waiting office, it's like, do you have any allergies? Do you like dicks? Dude, that doesn't happen. So yeah, it is your responsibility to correct them. I mean, I don't understand what the issue is here. I was instantly transported back to the trauma of my coming out days nearly 15 years ago. If she came out 15 years ago, dude, she should be fine with this by now, shouldn't she? Like, shouldn't she have accepted this by now? Be fine with it? Come on, dude. You came out 15 years ago. It's not, oh, I realized I was gay 15 years ago. You came out, you told the world that you were gay 15 years ago. Why can't you tell the world now? I felt shame. I even questioned getting a physical next year. Although, I work confidently with service providers every day, something about this interaction left a debilitating sting. God, dude. So much overreacting. So much overreacting. You see what I told you about why I decided to read you guys this? It's like so extreme, dude. Like, imagine that drama queen in your class or something like that, or a soccer player. You know, they're great drama queens, where they just get touched and then they scream and cry about it. Like, this is that chick. This chick is a soccer player, basically. That's what I'm saying here. But yeah, obviously, you know, before we keep going, obviously I'm not harping on gay rights or anything like that. I'm harping on this girl being so goddamn dramatic. Okay? Let's continue. Now imagine the possible impossible. I'm not at a routine doctor's visit. Instead, I'm in a bustling emergency room at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night because I was just sexually assaulted by a girlfriend. Ooh, got a little twist there. Got a little twist. Or, imagine I'm transgender and an acquaintance of mine has just sexually assaulted me. I'm a victim of a crime. Yes, that is how sexual assault works. It is a crime. I have the usual trauma response that most have. I'm shaking, cold, exhausted, and blaming myself for everything. My life is falling apart all around me, and, on top of everything else, the doctor and police assume I'm straight, or make an oblivious comment about my gender! Oh, shit, dude! They assumed her gender! Oh, shit, fucking cis scum males over here assuming genders. Oh my god, dude. Honestly, this is so silly. This is so silly. I'm not even gonna comment on the whole bathroom thing, but dude, who cares if you're transgender? Just tell the person. Come on. It's not that hard. Just tell the person. Actually, I identify as a male. Actually, I identify as a female. It's not hard, dude. Seriously. Are you worried about shame or something? You're never gonna see these people again in your entire life. Why are you worried about getting embarrassed by it? Come on, dude. Oh, this is the best part. This is her responding to what I just said, by the way. The 60 seconds of energy it takes for me to correct these service providers adds anywhere from 6 weeks to 60 years to my healing and recovery from this assault. That's just insulting. Like, that is insulting and saying that you have to be extremely weak-willed if you're sexually assaulted. I was sexually assaulted, and if somebody were to have asked me afterwards, if say a guy did it, okay? If somebody, when a guy says they're sexually assaulted, actually most people do assume that it's a guy. So, when I have told people, that I was sexually assaulted, they go, oh, what's his name? I'll find him, I'll kill him. And I'm like, no, it was actually a girl. That doesn't add to my recovery time. I'm not like, he assumed it was a guy. Like, dude, come on, stop overreacting. Jesus Christ. By the way, the scenario that she's giving is not actually something that she has experienced. This is just like an example. That's why she said at the very beginning, now imagine the possible impossible. I'm not at a routine doctor's visit. This is just a scenario she's running through, and you can tell that she has no idea what victims actually go through, because that is not how they react. At least it's not how I react. I've known people who have been sexually assaulted. It's not how they've reacted. I don't know. Maybe she's watching too many movies or something. I don't know. Sexual assault happens at the same rate to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people as it does to heterosexual people. She states as like this should be something that you're surprised by, but I'm not surprised by it. Are you guys surprised by that? I don't know. Makes sense to me. If anything, it is more pervasive in the LGBT community because perpetrators are motivated by hate and homophobia. They're like, oh yeah, you're gay? Well, I'm gonna rape you. I'm gonna rape you if you're gay. Dude, who does that? What kind of fucked up person does that? It's a little extreme, don't you think? The queer people were 3 times more likely to report sexual violence and or harassment compared to heterosexual people who reported to NCAVP in 2010. 1 in 10 transgender individuals have been sexually assaulted in a healthcare setting, according to a study by the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. Damn, dude, they have a task force. You better not talk bad about the gays. They're gonna send their national task force and assassinate your ass. SEAL Team 6 Bin Laden style, dude. You'll be done. They'll take you out. And the National Center for Transgender Equality. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. As an advocate, I sit with victims of sexual assault and guide them through the process of forensic examination. Okay, so I guess she does have experience with sexual assault. Doesn't sound like personally, but she knows people who have been sexually assaulted, so you would think that she knows more about it, but hey, well, what do I know? It can be challenging to leave my personal judgments at the door when working with victims, but it is absolutely essential to their healing process. But being what we call culturally competent goes a step beyond not judging someone based on race, class, gender, ability, etc. It's about evaluating one's own personal assumptions and expanding our knowledge to include world perspectives. It's about examining our power and privilege, they love that word, in interactions with clients and using language that is inclusive rather than exclusive. Okay, dude, I get you. You want people to be culturally competent. You want everybody to change the way that they think from what's just natural, which is assuming that people are straight and assuming that they're the gender that they look like. You want people to just change that, and you want them to say inclusive terms. So instead of saying, what's the guy's name who raped you? Or what did the guy look like? You say, what did the person look like? Okay, dude, I get that. But here's the thing. You're asking every single person to just think before they say stuff. And as great as that would be, and it would stop so much violence and problems in the world if everybody actually thought before they talked, that doesn't really happen. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. In an ideal society it would, but people are going to naturally assume, because that's what they do. That is what they do. When you see somebody walk into a room, doesn't matter how great of a person you are, you're going to judge that person. You're going to stereotype them, you're going to put them into your own schemas that you've designed in your head. I'm sorry, that's just how the world works, okay? You can be an optimist all you want, I'm a realist, and that's how the world works. And you're asking people to change the way that they think and talk because the world needs to be more culturally competent, so you don't have to correct people. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening, ever. I never see this happening. I never see people taking the time, even if it's just a few extra seconds, before they speak, to think and make sure that the words that they are saying aren't going to offend anybody. You know what I mean? I don't see that happening. And I don't think it should, because then we become such a politically correct society that we're effectively censoring ourselves from saying anything. I'm sorry, I just don't think that that's the right response. I think that we should all just toughen up as a human race. You know, fucking 50 years ago, people weren't complaining about their feelings, dude. They were going to war. Kids my age. I guess technically I'm an adult, but I'm not used to that. People my age, we're going into war. People younger than me, we're going into war, dude. They were shooting people. They were being shot. And you guys are complaining that somebody assumed your gender. Like, come on, dude. Let's just toughen up as a human race, alright? We're turning into little jelly babies right now. We're getting a little too squishy for my preference, okay? Just toughen up a little. Come on. Come on. In an effort to provide quality services for LGBT communities, or clients, sorry, the Maine Coalition Against Sexual Assault has participated in many cultural competency trainings and studies. A recent partnership with Forge Forward of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, taught us that Maine rates above national averages regarding transgender clients accessing sexual assault services, but there is still a lot of cultural competency work left to do among our coalition and the service providers with whom we partner. LGBT communities still fear hostility, rejection, and abuse when seeking services, and I learned from my own very personal experience, it is not necessarily about having separate LGBT brochures in your waiting room. It is about incorporating different cultures into our practices, organically, and having an appropriate system to review those interactions. Cultural competency is about being open to anyone who walks through our office doors. Once again, I can only speak for my location and my experiences, because I'm not an all-knowing being, and I can't speak for other states or other places of the world. I know other countries, this is seriously an issue. Gays, they'll get stoned or they'll get killed. I know that. And the same thing goes for feminism, Feminism, to me, in America, it's not that big of an issue to me because women can do nearly everything that a man can do. Like, just off the top of my head right now, I can't think of a single thing that I can do that a woman can't do. But I do know that it would be very ignorant for me to say that that doesn't happen, because it does happen all around the world. It just doesn't happen in my little area. So, obviously, I'm only talking about my area, but I've never had issues with this. I've never been persecuted because of this. Do I have people calling me a faggot? Sure, dude. But you know what? I have straight people who are called faggots. Straight people are called faggots all the time, dude. It's like a general insult. If somebody's mad at somebody else, they're like, hey, dude, you're a faggot. You suck dicks. It's like, alright. Very astute observation of you, yeah. Yeah. So what? It's 2016 now. I do think we're a lot more culturally competent than before. And I think that they're just... the LGBTQ, which I don't know why it only says LGBT community, but the LGBTQ community is, they're just asking a bit much, I think. And that's saying something because, technically speaking, I am part of that community, but they're asking every single person to just change the way that they speak and think. To second guess everything that they want to say, and then, evaluate it in their head, make sure it's not going to trigger anybody, and then say it. And that's just not ever going to happen, It's not going to happen. If that happened, it would be like one of those dystopian society movies where nobody, can say anything bad about the government or anything like that, or else it's, armed security guards come in and they just totally take them out back and shoot them and stuff. And I don't think any of us want that. I don't think any of us really want to have to second guess and everything that we're saying and censor ourselves. Freedom of speech is a pretty big thing. And I feel like once you have to start effectively censoring yourself and what you're talking about and what you're saying, it instantly, you lose freedom of speech. Which really, freedom of speech, we don't have that much of, honestly. But, still, I can make this video. I can talk about how dumb I personally, in my opinion, think this article is and how over dramatized it is. I can talk about that. I can do it for comedic value. You know, I can add my sarcastic comments. I can try and make light of a situation that is pretty dark, and that's all well and good because it's really satirical. You know, it's for comedic value. Um, and I am very against censorship because I wouldn't be able to do this if censorship was a thing. Um, but anyway, that's your story time, guys. It was pretty long, I know. But what are you gonna do? I haven't made a video in a little over a week, and I haven't made a story time video in probably like a month now, or a little over a month, and people kept asking, please, story time video, please, story time video. So here's a story time video. If this story time video is too long for you, that's totally fine. Which I don't know why I'm saying if it's too long for you, it's totally fine because you wouldn't be watching it right now, but I will do more storytime videos down the line. My next video is going to be talking about the games that I've been playing. Overwatch, Fallout 4 Survival Mode, I really want to talk about that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about. All the games that I wish I could be playing, but I can't be playing. Like Dark Souls 3, like Doom. Yeah, that's going to be the next video. It's not going to be a storytime video next video. So enjoy this one, because it's long as hell, so there's plenty for you to love. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Try not to get too triggered. Remember, don't take anything that I said super seriously, because I don't take things that I say super seriously. There's an ant on my wall, I have to murder it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.